Hello everyone and welcome to another raid video. My name is RubyXC and today we are going to be going through what I pulled yesterday. Now before I get into the main sort of part of today's video, I just want to say a humongous thank you for all the support yesterday on yesterday's video. It genuinely means so much to know that people enjoyed the video, liked it and all that sort of stuff. It means everything because I'm someone who doesn't have a lot of confidence, and to see that it genuinely does warm my heart. So a humongous thank you, and hopefully this will be a big boost for things. But let's just get into the topic of today's video. Today we are going to be reviewing the champions that I got yesterday. As you can see, I've already got like 2 of them running through the clan boss right now. You might also see and go, hang on a minute. You didn't have those champions yesterday when you pulled. That's because I've done quite a lot of summoning off camera as well. I wasn't expecting to. It's just as soon as I saw the packs, I was like, screw it. And I bought the packs. So I managed to, I think I pulled around about 100 ancient shards yesterday. I mean, I didn't really get anything huge. I didn't get any legendaries or anything. So it was more of the epics, like Geomancer currently going right now. And Jizzo, so... Well, Jizzle wasn't there, but I'm just saying Jizzle going through the clan boss. But yes, I don't know what I'm talking about. But yeah, so, there was a few that was like, I got quite a lot of rares for the money I spent, so. But, it happens, it's a gamble, isn't it? Especially with these sort of games. So yeah, Geo, as you can see by my total damage, he is so good for clan boss. I've not even built him nowhere near what he's capable of either. He's so good. Easily one of the best epics in the game. So here we are, and here is my current roster. I apologize. Here is my current roster of champions, and the epics are pretty much the best things I pulled yesterday. I got quite a lot of I got a few LAs, I got a couple of Aethels and whatnot. I don't know the complete ins and outs of every single rare here. I'll have to do some looking up, but I know some of them are pretty good. For example, Coffin Smasher looks decent. You've got War Maiden, of course, although I already have her. You've got Fencer. I think Fencer, I've used Fencer before. I thought she was pretty good. In fact, actually, Fencer was one of the rares I started off with. Like, she was pulled almost instantly. She actually did pretty well for me. But I'm going to go through the epics. As you can see, there's also a couple of dupes. I got Gory twice, by the way. Gory is this champion here, but I've put one in for food. I probably should have put him in my faction crypts, but, so the main one I am going to talk about straight away, as you can see here, shiny with his beard, Geomancer. Just wow, I don't know what to say about this champion. He's one of the best champions I've used, and he's not even 60 yet. He's going to be my next 60, by the way, there's no doubt about it. I've got him in Savage just because, extra damage and stuff. My stun kit is currently on Bellower. I know this stats aren't great, but he's helping me get through Nightmare a little bit. Nightmare campaign. Geomancer, his damage is incredible. He has this, once fully booked, you can pretty much have it on all the time, especially on the clan boss. Straight weaken, straight HP burn. Of course, you need accuracy to build it up, which is, something I'm trying to focus on, but I actually just noticed that's not a very good accuracy. I'll build on that as when I'm done with this video. But he's just fantastic. My clan boss damage originally was somewhere around about 300, 400k, because obviously I was just using El Hayden as my damage dealer, but since he's come in, he has turned my damage into millions, simply because of this passive, Stone Guard. Decreases the damage all allies receive by 15% and deflects that damage onto each enemy under a HP buff, burn debuff placed by this champion. So that could be a constant thing on a clan boss. You could have it one round, he hits you once, that's it, he's just spread up some more damage, and obviously as the rounds go on, that damage will increase, because of course the clan boss's damage increases as the turns go on and the rounds and such. And also it says here, whenever this champion is attacked, deflects 30% of the damage instead. When deflecting damage on each enemy hit, has a 30% chance of dealing additional damage equal to 3% of the target's max HP. That is humongous. That is basically, as it says in the Hell Hades website, a built-in... Is it Giant Slayer, I think it was? Yeah, or War Master or Giant Slayer. I can't remember which. I think it said Giant Slayer. Because it's basically, especially with the clan boss, that's like, I don't know the exact amount, but it's around about like 50k, 70k damage or such. Obviously you can't go over a certain amount because that would be too easy to defeat the clan boss. But yeah, if you ever pull him, build him up immediately. He needs high accuracy. Of course, he just needs the standard damage stuff. His accuracy, his speed, of course, to cycle through. And book him, absolutely book him. I can't put it into words. I can't describe it. So he's brilliant. Another one who you'd also saw in the clan boss team is Arenes. I don't know how I think I pronounce it. I think I'm butchering that name. Arenes, she's really good for clan boss. She has a 90% chance of playing the 2.5, goes up to 5% on an ascended percent chance of a percent poison debuff. Which obviously if you're in clan boss, that's just easy damage. If you've got poisoners, it's easy damage on the clan boss. It's where most people get their damage from. If you've got this, I mean, this is good, of course, but you know, if poison's on there all the time, it's whatever, innit? And then attacks one enemy. That just doesn't really matter for clan boss too much because I mean the clan boss gets buffs, but sometimes if it's on like I think it's void, it doesn't really get any buffs. And of course Geomancer removes buffs as well. So yeah. She's fantastic. She gives ally accuracy in dungeons though by 70, so she's very good for dragon in that regard because obviously the dragon's in dungeons. She's brilliant. I also got Nazana, who you actually did see me pull yesterday. I haven't actually had a chance to really test her out booster or anything, but I'm going to be throwing her into my spider team. I think she looks brilliant. Of course, she's got the ally protection, so actually she could be good for clan boss potentially, maybe not actually. Okay, I don't know. I mean, maybe if you've got no one else, then sure. Okay, now that I think about it, but yeah, she looks brilliant. You've got your eye protection and stuff, and then you've got decrease attack, which is really helpful when you're facing very big enemies such as Nightmare Campaign, because that will make a I keep saying humongous, a huge difference to the damage that they do to you. I also got Sir Armitage, who I actually thought was a female. So yeah, there we go. I've never really seen Sir Armitage. I've never pulled him before, but he looks pretty decent. Has decreased defense and decreased speed. He has removes all debuffs from this champion that attacks the enemy. So if someone's put like a decreased attack, it don't matter. You can remove it and attack him. And then you've got this increase the crit damage, which is good. So I think I'm gonna just build him out for excessive damage. I think I'm going to try and do. I know the decreased defense is helpful, but if I've already got someone like a war maiden placed in decreased defense, then I can just focus on his damage and it's absolutely fine. I also got an aura for speed. I also got a Grunch Killjoy, who again is another one I've not used before, but looks decent. Attacks one enemy, has a 40% chance of placing a block buffs, which is good for like if someone's got unkillable. You know, if you're coming up against like a man-eater like I've been coming up against in Nightmare Campaign, is brilliant. An AoE smack, I think that might be with a 50% chance of placing a bomb debuff that detonates after one turn. So bomb, I believe, is slowly coming back into the meta, although I'm not too sure. I've never really used bombs on this game before. I've been hit by them, but I've never used them. Removes all debuffs from all allies, then places 15% continuous heal on buff on one turn on each ally for every debuff removed, which is quite helpful for healing. And then this fills the turn meter of all allies by 10% whenever a bomb debuff detonates on an enemy. So that's pretty much every time that ticks. If you're against Spider especially, this works. Everyone's getting a go. So yeah. Basilisk, pain in the backside to face on campaign. He's an AoE champ, straight up. I think they're all AoE. Oh no, one is stun. Sorry, the first one is an AoE. A1 is an AoE. He's got a increased attack on this champion for 2 turns if this attack is critical. So you're gonna want that crit rate to be up as much as possible. This passive is a little bit annoying when you're against him. Revives this champion to 30% HP when killed, and then places a block damage debuff. Buff for 1 turn if it's ascended. That can be slightly annoying when you're in campaign. That's where like Provoke, I think, comes into it and such. It's just a pain in the backside to fight. Almost at the end here. Thanks if you're still here. I know my voice is annoying and quite boring. But you've got Ripper here. He's another one I'm pretty sure I've come up against in the good old Nightmare campaign. He has a 1 hit, decreases max HP by 10% of the damage inflicted. I'm pretty sure that will help against the Scarab boss in Doom Tower. I've not gotten that far yet in the game, but I'm pretty sure a decrease max HP is helpful against the Scarab boss. I'm almost certain it is. You've got attacks one enemy twice, damage increases as the target's HP decreases. So if you're hitting someone who's already really low, you're going to be doing quite a lot of damage. Attacks one enemy will ignore 50% of the target's defense. Decreases their max HP by 30% of the damage inflicted. So this guy looks like a pretty good damage dealer. He looks very good for damage. Especially with the fact that he's already ignored, so you don't really need Savage Gear. Stick him in crit damage. He looks pretty good for damage. Second to last, you've got Masamoto. I'm pretty sure he was in one of the fusions a while ago. I never really used him, but I guess he looks okay. Attacks one enemy 2 times, has a 10% chance of stealing 1 random buff. And then attacks all enemies, has a 50% chance of placing a 50% decrease attack debuff. So that could be helpful again in waves if you've not got anyone else. And then places a 6% increased defense buff on all allies for 2 turns, and then fills their turn meters, which could be quite helpful for, say, Demon Lord if you've not got anyone really there. You know, it's boosting your defense a bit, which is very, very important for the clan boss. And then finally, you've got Gory. He has a 2 hit for 1 enemy, so 1 enemy twice, and then places an extra hit if the target is under a freeze debuff. Heals this champion by 10% of the damage inflicted. So it's like a built-in lifesteal set without actually putting a lifesteal on him, so that's quite helpful. Attacks 3 times at random. I personally don't like the ones that attack at random unless you're against the finite. It's just annoying and so RNG because you don't know where it's going. But it has a chance of placing a freeze debuff. So I guess if you're in waves and it hits 3 enemies out of 4, then you know it's 3 out of 4 that have been hit by a freeze. And then this one attacks one enemy will ignore increased defense and shield buffs. Will also ignore 50% of the target's defense if they are under a freeze debuff, which is quite good. Again, looks decent for damage, I guess, if you want to get your damage numbers up. It actually seems to be really good against what's his name? Krisk. I can't believe I forgot his name. The big turtle. The one that everyone wants. He has a increased defense, I think, passive, so that would help massively. And then with this one, places a counter attack buff and a 50% increased attack on this champion for 2 turns if this attack kills an enemy. And he also has a passive here which counter attacks with a cold comfort skill whenever an enemy places any of those debuffs on an ally, which is actually quite helpful for, say, the Iron Golem. What's his name? The Ice Golem. That was it. Iron Golem. I've been playing Minecraft again. So yeah, apologies. The commentary has been a bit off. I'm just trying to get this video out. I'm still flabbergasted over. Is that right? Right? I'm still stunned by how much support I've got after yesterday's video, so I'm still recovering from that. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching. You are all awesome. I hope you enjoy your weekend. I'll probably make another video again tomorrow. And yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching, and bye bye.